Hi, this is Rebecca Dunley, and I have a PhD from UC Davis in public health. So we're having an open forum here so that people can send their questions in. We have maybe about 7-8 minutes so that you can have your question answered on the flu vaccine that was produced this year and the flu epidemic that we're certainly having. So it looks like John from California has a question that he's sent in, and he asked, the vaccine doesn't seem to be working well. Do you recommend getting it, and why? Well, John, you're correct. This year's flu vaccine is only about 10 to 30% effective. The flu virus's genetic makeup is very, very highly disposed to mutating, and it did this year as the vaccine was being made. So you see, most influenza vaccines are incubated in chicken eggs, and while incubating this year, the virus that this year is the H3N2, it mutated while growing, so it led to a very much less effective vaccine for the 2017 to 2018 flu season. And they do still recommend, though, that the flu vaccination be gotten for the remaining of the flu season. And there are three main reasons, I would say. The first one is that it will, if you've had it, it will decrease your odds, obviously, of getting the flu. Second, the second reason would be to keep the flu from spreading to high-risk groups, and they're such as young children or immunocompromised people, the elderly, and the immunocompromised people are people that have cancer, maybe you're on chemotherapy, diabetics, women that are pregnant. So we want to certainly stop the spread to them any way that we can, or at least the very best that we can. And the third reason would be to have that flu vaccine anyway this year would be because it really decreases morbidity, which is, causing disease, and it also decreases mortality, which means the percent of people dying if they do get the flu. So let's see. We have a question here from Jill in Montana. Are vaccines generally safe? Isn't there evidence that kids can get autism from vaccinations? Well, a decade ago, it was noted that the number of children with autism was increasing. And it was also noted that the number of vaccinations that, we were asking the children to have was also rising. So there was a lot of public outcry on this. And so many, many studies were done to see if there actually was a correlation taking place here. So from the many studies done so far, there really has been no evidence shown that one, autism, is caused by the other, the vaccination increase. What studies have shown, though, is that autism is very highly inheritable. So researchers have actually found that there are, so far, about 65 genes that they consider strongly linked to autism. So here we have John from Idaho. Don't we get the flu shot every year because pharmaceutical companies make more money that way? Well, it would be easy to think that this is true because pharmaceutical companies do make a good deal of money from their vaccine products, and they also have a shield from product liability. So it really doesn't give you a good taste in your mouth when you think about pharmaceutical companies. But medicinally and scientifically, there are other very valid reasons why the flu vaccine must be given each year. The duration of the immunity that follows, when a person is given because the vaccination that you get, especially this year, is a dead virus, so you can't get the flu from it. But the immunity time span that you have is generally less than a year, so you would have to get it every year. And also, as we talked about earlier, the flu virus mutates every year, and so new vaccines must be made each year for them to be effective. We have a question here from Janine in Washington. Do you get a flu vaccination every year? Or did you get one this year? Excuse me. No, I didn't. And the reason being, I have a real high aversion to needles being used on me. And I also really didn't look forward to the possibility, it doesn't happen a lot, but the possibility that you might feel a little bit sick after, a little nausea or a little malaise. But as I age, I see the positive benefits of receiving the vaccination greatly outweigh the negative, and I likely will choose to receive one going forward from here on. And our last question is from Zane in Oregon. What might be a good source of information for parents that still have concerns about vaccinations causing autism? Well, certainly if you have a trusted physician, that would be number one. Certainly if you trust your physician, they do a lot of research, they keep up on the research, they should be a great source of info for you. The Autism Science Foundation, it's multifaceted information for parents of autistic children. That would be a second source. And certainly there are multiple autism groups out there for parents of children that have autism. Any of those, get in them and be talking with them. And it's not like you're going to be getting information necessarily from a pharmaceutical company. You'll be getting it from a group that has autistic children, cares about, greatly about autistic children, and will be keeping up on the research too. So I hope this helps for right now, and thanks for stopping in, and we'll look forward to our next forum.